Right, okay. Oh, it's chilly in here. Let's start off with a warming up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Hello everybody. Right, today's bench press workout today is going to be bench press and talking about current UK politics regarding Brexit, effectively, which sure is not about Brexit, UK policy regarding coronavirus. So the UK has just gone into, or certainly yesterday, the UK government announced that England is going to be going into a lockdown from Thursday. A new lockdown. They've got rid of they had a tier system, a 1, 2, 3 level tier system, and they are going to be, which had varying levels of restriction for each person, for each area, and now they are going to be doing just a full UK-wide lockdown, and this is going to be very interesting how it's going, because certainly when the first lockdown kicked in, everybody was like, oh my goodness, this is a pandemic. We must do what all these other countries are doing. Let's lock down. Let's protect ourselves. We don't know what we're coming up with. This time round, the general feeling, or what I'm reading in the comments of all the different newspapers, is the newspaper and YouTube channels that leave comment sections open. It's just, everyone's just like, fuck this second lockdown. It's all the government's fault for not getting its test and trace sorted, by not getting everything, closed when it needed to be closed. It's taking far too long to actually get any of these things implemented, and everyone just thinks that the government is just destroying the country, and that so many people just can't be bothered with this second lockdown. And the main thing about this lockdown is that the government's come out and said, hey, we are going to carry on the UK job retention furlough scheme, which meant that the government was effectively paying 80% of people's salary, which is awesome. But they've told it on a Saturday, which pretty much on Friday, everybody that was going to be made redundant was told by their companies, yeah, that's your contract up, that's you out. It's just like, if you'd only told us this like about a week ago, or a couple of weeks before we went into the kind of the end of the initial furlough scheme, people might not be completely losing their jobs. So on Monday, there's going to be loads of people with no jobs, but yet the government's saying, oh yeah, we'll carry on the furlough scheme. You're like, well, that's no use to the millions of people that have now just lost their jobs, the millions of, or the thousands of companies that have now just completely closed down. So, UK government is pulling a bit of a fast one on everyone, it seems. But interested to hear what all your thoughts are on that. Right, first of all, need to warm up on the bench, get 30 reps on the bench press. Okay, 30. Oh, nice and heavy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. 26. Wow, 26. 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew. Ooh. There's a little bit of a rest there midway through that, as the lactic acid's quite powerful just now. Oh boy. Oh boy. These are my coffee. My Kopi Luwak. So, wow, I don't know why, but this is really dark. Really underexposed. I don't think there's a way for me to change those settings while live. Nope. Let's see, if I go back to my GoPro, view your live stream, is there any way to change my settings? No, seems like there's not. Go back to viewer live stream. There it is. Not much happening. Right. Oh boy. Yeah, so yesterday I had a fantastic day. Very happy with my results on the bench. I got 142 kilograms. Which makes me feel good because that means my max has been increased in the last little while. Hold on. I'm using the wrong weights here. Yeah. Oh well, I'll do. Yeah, so last week I was really struggling. Got to 136 kilograms. Which is cool. That's 300 pounds. That is awesome. But I was just done. Had no power. I'd lost all my power really. Couldn't do any more than that. And what was really upsetting is that was 12 kilograms below my max that I've ever done, which was only about 3 weeks beforehand. So in 3 weeks, I had lost 12 kilograms of strength, which is a shockingly large amount. And that's all purely down to this back issue that I've been having. This back issue which has come from nowhere, from doing nothing. Just lots of painkillers, lots of bad night's sleep, lots of muscle relaxants and ibuprofen and yeah, just shit sleeps, lots of painkillers, not doing anything very good. So yeah, total strength massively dropped. Yeah, yesterday I managed to increase my bench by 6 kilograms. So I got up to from 136 up to 142. Which I was really happy about. Right, let's see. Can I do some juggling? Yeah. Oh, the brain synapse requirements that are needed for juggling. Yeah. Right. Why am I still so dark? I really want to brighten myself up. Okay, so this next exercise is for the biceps, and it is what I like to call my 16s. So I've got one weight in my left hand side, and then a heavy weight on the right hand side, and there's a weight which I should be able to do 16 reps of on each side. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and with pretty much no stop in between. Swap the weights, or swap the sides, and start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, aim for 16, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then again, with almost, oh my goodness, almost no gap in between. Swap sides again, and aim for 8, so half an hour reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, James, that's killing it. 8 on this side again now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then swap sides again. Last time, this time halving the number of reps again. Just down to 4 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back to the last side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Then after that, I'm going to move to a close grip bench press to work the triceps a little bit. Close grip, something I never do. So this will be interesting to see how this looks. This will look very poor technique, I'm sure. Oh. 1. Oh, that's a different sensation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh boy. Whew. Yeah, so in my last video, got a comment asking what alternative exercises am I doing to increase my bench. Am I doing like incline bench? Am I doing close grip bench? Am I working on triceps and anything like that? Nope, is the answer to that. For me to increase my bench, my flat bench press, the exercises I'm doing are flat bench press. Just that's it. And heavy, high intensity, low reps, high sets, not even high sets actually, high frequency. So 4 days a week, 5 days a week in total, I suppose. High intensity, 90% max, 6, 7, 8 sets, 1 rep, 2 rep, 3 rep max, kind of stuff. And just working on that to increase my 1 rep max, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. See if it has any more effect. I think it will. But yeah, haven't really done any close grip stuff. Haven't done any shoulder stuff because of my back issue. Haven't really done anything on the bicep apart from these little curls that I'm doing. Little curls for the girls. But biceps do feel tight just now. So that's feeling good. Okay, so now normal bench press for another, try and get another 30 reps out of this. black filtered coffee. Nice. But before I do another 30 reps, I need to practice my super skill. Right. Oh, feeling good. That was awesome. That was awesome. That was just like smooth juggling there. Don't want to push it anymore. I think happy with that. I wonder how many goes that was. I'll see from blue back over to blue. Just rewatching the video there. Did and 1 and 2. Yeah, full 2. Okay, I felt really good because I did 2 rounds. So I got the blue from here all the way to here, back to here. That's 1 there. So I did 2. Let's see if I can do 3. 1. Two. Yeah, okay, I can get up to 2. Woo. I rock. Right, here. What we're doing? Normal bench press, 30 reps. 50 kilograms. So I mean 500 kilograms just now for 30 reps. $26. Ow. 26 seems to be my burn limit. 26. 27. 30. Whew. That's funny. That's my second set there where I didn't manage to do a full 30 reps. I got up to like 26 and then the lactic acid just got too much. That was good. So the lockdown, the UK lockdown is not a UK lockdown. It's actually just an England lockdown. So the Scottish government are like, hold on, you're giving 80% furlough to everybody in England. Scotland's not going into a full lockdown, and we pay into this money pot. Are we going to get this as well? Because pretty much every devolved government, the Welsh, the Irish, Northern Irish and the Scottish, if they wanted to do it, the government would go, no, you're not allowed to do your own finances like that. So I think a lot of the governments are going, hold on a minute. So you're going for England to go in furlough and they're getting their 80% salary. I hope we're bloody going to get that if we have to go into lockdown. So yeah, it's just massive. I think there's going to be a huge amount of civil unrest. A few protests going on somewhere, both in Scotland and England, everywhere. I think in England there'll be protests from people saying I don't want to go into a lockdown, and that they think it's all overblown and the government's just trying to ruin the country. And there'll be people in Scotland protesting saying, hold on, how come people in England are getting 80% of their salary paid and yet we aren't going into lockdown? How's that fair? So yeah, I think having a devolved government throughout a single country is not going to be proving the best policy for any country just now. So yeah, all I can say is I wouldn't want to be a politician just now, that's for sure. Got a tough job. But yeah, and why they're deciding to start from Thursday is an interesting one. Sure, it's got to be voted on by politicians, which they'll do that on Monday. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you think they could just kind of go, right, we'll do it from Tuesday, because every day seems to count at the moment regarding the number of cases. Because the UK are at around 25,000 new cases a day, new confirmed cases, and they still think that the confirmed cases are still not a representation of the total number of people with the illness, because there'd be a lot of people that are asymptomatic carriers. I think America yesterday got up to their 99,000 confirmed cases in a single day. So I think this week will definitely be the new kind of like, oh my goodness, this will be all of the news when they pass the 100,000 new confirmed cases in a single day in America. And I think that will be a big bit in the news that we'll be seeing over there. What they're saying about in America is that at the start, there's possibly, when there was the first breakout, there may have been a massive under-testing, under-reporting situation, but at the same time, the virus was literally just spreading. You can see it started over in the East Coast, like New York area, and you can see that it slowly progressed across the country. Now it's coming back, and because it's effectively been throughout the country, it's just now re-emerging from everywhere in the country, and it's just going through the roof in America. So the whole reason for a lockdown, certainly in the UK, is the idea that if we have a lockdown, it should reduce the burden, the pressures on our health service in the UK, because that's what they're mainly worried about. They're not thinking about companies, they're not thinking about people's jobs, they're not thinking about anything. They're just thinking we need to make sure that our hospitals aren't completely overrun and we're not having TV crews watching people being wheeled out in beds in the middle of the street and dying in the street because they can't get inside a hospital, kind of stuff. That's what the government wants to avoid, as every government should. That would be a bad thing to happen. But it seems like in America, maybe they've just got enough hospitals, and each hospital just makes so much money from anybody that's ill that they're like, bring it on, more ill people. Yeah, come and stay for a couple of days at Shea Hospital, and we'll charge you £20,000 a day. So I think the medical system in America may be far different from the medical system in the UK, as it is. Oh, wow. I quite like this non-symmetrical weight training. So there are different weights in each arm, but even in my right arm, even this weight is a different weight on the right and the left. Working on unbalancing the process. That's quite interesting. Right, time for my next 30 reps on the bench press. Let's see if we can get past 26. I think the pause I'm doing at each 10, I'm doing 10, then a pause, then another 10, and that's just killing me when I get to 25, 26. Okay, let's see if we can do this time. Okay. 30 reps on 500 kilograms. Or 50,000 grams. That's what I like to call it. Hide the belly, hide the gut. Shoulders back, chest up. 1, 2, 20. That was good, got to 30. 30 in one go there. Whew, that was that's a burn. That's a burn. Yeah. So what's that? 3 sets of 30, 90 reps so far. That's approximately 80 reps more than I normally do in any sort of workout. So good question. What's the point of doing loads of reps of this lightweight? Good question. I think it is the reason why I'm doing high reps, low weight just now is effectively a bit of variation. So my other days of training are working up to a 90% max. Hello professional nerd. Working up to a 90% max 4 days a week, and just doing 1 rep, 2 reps, maximum 3 reps if I'm able to, for 5, 6, 8 sets, and then just calling it a day. So it's very high intensity in terms of 90%, very low reps in terms of total number of reps and sets, but high frequency, so 4 or 5 times a week. And just doing this one day where it's just a lightweight, piles of reps. It's working a different something, different energy pathways, different mitochondrial processes, different neural adaptation pathways, blah blah blah, lots of fancy words and bullshit. But yeah, it's just a bit of variation to do lots of reps, very few sets. But yeah, so that was another 30. Let's see if we can just get 15 out. That's been a short rest in between. Another 15. That's me up to 105. Whoa. 20, so that was a good. That's been done 110. Mr. Hip. Where is Mr. Hip these days? He, I know. I'm a bit upset. He's ditched me in the gym. He's not been in for a while. Lazy bastard. He's been busy. He's just sitting around. I can barely get him out of his bedroom at the moment. He just sits there, dead eye staring straight into the wall. I think he's having a bit of a midlife crisis, maybe. You know, he is 32 years old, and I think either maybe age has just hit him, and he's just suddenly having a little bit of a moment to himself, just kind of realizing how futile the meaning of life is for him. He sees himself being superseded by other soft teddies inside the house, with my 5, 6-year-old and 2-year-old with their teddy bears, their bunny rabbits, and Mr. Hippo is just feeling. He's going through a stage. He's going through a stage just now. He's not let it get to him too much. He's not abusing himself. He's not self-harming. He's not going down the alcohol route or the drugs route. But there's a level of sadness, and I think it's just sadness and realization, and realizing that he is just a small, fat, fluffy teddy bear, and it's just hit him hard. So I'm gonna let him go through it. I'm not gonna push him. I'm not gonna force him to come back to the gym. When he's ready, he can come back. He's always welcome. He'll be welcome with open arms when he comes back, and I know he'll be a great gym partner when he comes back. But he just needs some time. He needs some time, and I'm supporting him by giving him his space to just work out what he needs to get out of his little cotton head, just filled with fluff, and just be interesting to see what happens when he comes out of it, when he comes out the other side of his midlife crisis. He may decide to just completely pack it in. He may go traveling. I have thought that he might want to do that. I've seen it in his eyes, the way he just stares at the TV sometimes, and he watches like the Discovery Channel and the travel documentaries. I can see there's a yearning inside him, wanting to just get away. I heard him listening to Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz, I wanna get away, I wanna fly. So I think maybe he either wants to become a bird and fly away, or he's gonna get a passport and just jump on the next plane once this lockdown is lifted, and just see where he goes. I hope if he does do traveling, I hope it's good traveling. I hope he goes to cool places, experiences the world in a different way. You know, gets to know himself. Maybe he'll meet a partner. Maybe he'll have a girlfriend, boyfriend. You know, I don't know what Mr. Hippo's into. Really, he's always hung out with me, so he's going to be pretty asexual his whole life. So I don't know if maybe it's a coming of age time. Actually, I don't know how old soft cuddly toy hippos, how old they get. So maybe it's not a midlife crisis. Maybe it's a coming of age crisis that he's having. Don't know. It's a new zone for me as well to figure out what's happening with Mr. Hippo. But I'm there for him whenever he needs me, and the gym's here for him whenever he gets out of it. And as long as he stays away from the alcohol, the drugs, and he doesn't go into the smoking too much, then he'll have support from me. Yeah, soon, hopefully we'll have him back in the gym, and you know, when he's back in the gym, you know, there'll be PBs every day, personal bests, personal records. You know, the weights will be flying off. They'll be smashing off the roof. So yeah, I hope he can make it back and be my gym buddy. Right. And with that, let's get another 30 reps of 50,000 grams. Right. Yeah. So it's 110, 140 reps so far. Yeah, right. So yeah, today's plan, get to 200 reps. I'm gonna have to do some maths. Where's my calculator? 50 kilograms times about 200 reps, that'll be 10 tons. Yeah, I need to do 10 tons. That's all I need. That's the plan. I get back to YouTube. Perpetually annoyed if you're still there. I'm right in thinking you're in America, aren't you? How's the race to election time? The news must just be so boring in America. Just constant 9 to 5, not 9 to 5, just constant 24-hour repetitive coverage of the two candidates running around the country and slagging each other off. How does it work in America? Does everyone just get fed up and bored of it, or is everyone like properly interested? Because I hear there's like 90 million people have already voted, which I think is more than what had voted in total in the previous election. And all those people must just be watching or listening to the news, just going, "Shut up! I've already voted. Just wake me up on the day when it's time to figure out who my new president is." Does the new president really do anything different in America? Are they not all controlled by the government that they're in? Granted, it'd be great if Trump didn't act like a total dick all the time, but at the same time, has he done anything good for the country? I don't know. A lot of Americans totally think he's the best thing in the world. But a lot of those people that, certainly from the news coverage I've seen over here, the people that think he is the best are people that are completely deluded and are like, yeah, I've lost all my job, I've lost all my savings, yeah, my health insurance has gone through the roof, oh, it's all Obama's fault, it's all Obama's fault. You're like, Trump's been in power for the last 4 years. You've only lost your job in the last 2 years, you've only lost all your savings in the last 2 years, and your healthcare has gone up by 50% in the last year, so how is that Obama's point? So the 140 kilograms, excuse me, I think it was 142 that I got yesterday. Not a lifetime PR, it's a PR of this month, effectively. So last month I got a lifetime PR of 148, and then the week after I tried to get 149 and I failed. And then I tried to get 148 again, failed. So I massively ramped up to 148, tried to go above it, failed, tried to get 148, failed. And I've been having a back problem, sleeping problem, painkillers, all that kind of stuff. And my strength has just plummeted to the point where I couldn't lift 136. So I was like, oh my goodness, it's dropped by 12 kilograms. In the space of a month, from lack of sleep, painkillers, muscle relaxants, nerve suppressants, all that good stuff, all that bad stuff. So getting from 136, which is 300 pounds, getting that back up to above 140 was, which I did yesterday, was a real like, woohoo, happy days, feeling good. Happy about that. So the goal is, hopefully if my back problem keeps getting better, if my sleep keeps getting a little bit better, hopefully get it back up to 148, hopefully get 150. So that's the goal now, is to try and get 150 kilograms for Christmas. For Christmas. If my back is better and I'm able to sleep, if I just focus on making sure I get enough protein in my diet, I'm starting to get enough carbs, that's for sure. If I get enough protein in my diet and enough creatine in my diet and enough sleep, and I just keep working on the 90% maxes, then totally going to try and aim for 150 before Christmas. What were you doing years ago when you got ripped? So when I got ripped, a good 8 years ago now, when I was younger than 30, I maxed out at 126, I think I got to. So 126 was my maximum bench press that I ever did when I was ripped. At the same time, I was able to do a deadlift of 178 kilograms. And I was able to do pull-ups with weights as well, and I was able to do squats up to 100. I got 140 on my squat as well. So when I was ripped, I was doing all the exercises. But now that I'm older, fatter, more broken, have less time, that I'm just working on the bench press. It's a completely pointless exercise, but it makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I've achieved something. Makes me feel like I'm progressing in something. And it's probably one of the safest exercises I can do that's not going to hurt my back or make me unable to walk upstairs from a heavy squat session kind of thing. So yeah, years ago when I was completely ripped, I was lifting heavy weights of lots of different exercises, but my bench press only got up to 126. This year, I've surpassed that. So what was interesting is when I got this squat, this rack, it was while I was doing loads of running and loads of cycling, and the idea was that I would just do a little bit of weights after I've done a long cycle or a long run, because seemingly long distance cycling and long distance running ruins your testosterone. And as a male in my 30s, no, in my mid 30s, 40s, having your testosterone drop from doing long endurance exercises, not the best thing for general manliness. And so I thought I'd just try and do this. Then I just got totally back into it. I just love lifting heavy weights. That feeling of strength is really just a primal thing. But I could only lift 90 kilograms. So in 1 year, I went from 90 kilograms up to, I think, up to 130. What did I do in 1 year? Well, I had a 1 year progress video. I think I got from 90 kilograms up to 136 kilograms, up to 300 pounds. Under 220, over 300 pounds in 1 year. And that's just because I started focusing mostly on the bench. And then it went up. It just kept on going up because I just focused on the bench. Oh yes, so hey Nath, the other day I hit 110 kilograms for 3, hit a new par. Now Boris shut the gyms again. Oh, he's fucking shut the gyms as well. I have no weights and no money. Gonna lose my gains after fighting to get them back. Still vegan, right? Yeah, still eating. When are you eating? You're still vegan, right? When you're eating? Yes, yeah, I'm still vegan in not just in diet, but in life actions. I think. Yeah, save a spider, look after a mouse. What else am I vegan in? Not buying fur clothes or leather jackets or anything like that. So yeah, vegan not just in diet, but in everything as well. All to the annoyance of my wife. She hates it. But my 6-year-old never really questions it. Whenever at dinner time, they'll be having a roast dinner, and I'll be having the roast dinner, but with vegan sausages. And I'm like, why does Daddy get sausages? And I'm like, because I don't eat animals. And they're like, all right, fine. They haven't really kind of questioned it. Like, why is Daddy different from everyone else? So that's how it is at the moment. So yeah, still that, apart from honey. So that's where I'm not vegan, is that I consume honey. So as I said, my veganism is down to the large animal level. My veganism, the large animal level of veganism. I'm very much like, fuck the insects. So bees, with their honey, happy to steal their honey. Wasps, happy to stand on them. Beetles, I'll save a beetle. I won't go out on my way to squish it. So some vegans will be like, oh, you're not vegan because you eat honey. And I'm like, well, don't care. But yeah. Hey, Youssef. Hey, Johnny and Youssef. Hope you're there. I'm just having a day off of heavy benching. Been doing strong active rest activity. So active rest, 50,000 gram bench press I'm doing just now for 30 reps for about to do another set, mixed in with some high level grey material cognitive training. So in other words, like, what's it, your grey matter in your brain, which is your high level brain of your juggling, which requires high coordination and neural activity and synchronization in upper body activity to help increase my neural activity during the bench press, or some bullshit like that. I read somewhere where like doing something complicated like this is good for the bench press. So I've been working on my juggling. And yeah, hold on, another 50,000 grams. Let's see. 30. High level green material cognitive training, that's what it is. But I miss my hippo. My juggling is no match for a level of Mr. Hippo activity. But he will be back. He will be back soon. Johnny and Yusuf, if you're there, be interesting if you could do any kind of what's it like, scientific studies with anybody that can juggle, seeing the difference of juggling skill before smashing out a bench press and juggling skill after smashing out a bench press. There is a massive difference. Like beforehand, I'm just like, yeah, smash, 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 smash. After doing that, I'm like totally lost my skill. So there is something going on about the synchronizing muscle strength, coordination, hand-eye coordination, high-level green matter cognitive training. So I've seen before, the goal is, Johnny, sorry, Yusuf, I should say. My back has been an issue for the last few months. I've been watching your videos of you going through your 40-minute back stuff, and I've been doing some a lot of Stu McGill, Big 3, doing that all the time. Also, the other one that we're talking about is neural gliding for the static nerve. So a lot of lying back, bringing the leg up, pointing the toe, and stroking it down to neural gliding for the static nerve, and working on that at the moment. So, but because of my back pain, I've had terrible sleep and just general pain when doing exercise. So my strength has massively dropped. But I think it's going to come back, and I think last week I failed, or I couldn't get it up above 136 kilograms for the bench press. This week, yesterday, I managed to get 142. So the strength is coming back. And neural flossing, is that what it is? Neural flossing, not neural gliding. Okay, I'll try neural flossing. Flossing my bum nerves. And yeah, so that just the lack of sleep, the general pain, the pregabalin, which I think is a nerve suppressant, and the what's the other one? Baclofen, which is a muscle relaxant, along with the general codeine or cocodamol, that has just destroyed my gains. But now I feel like I'm getting out of it after week 13 or week 14 now. Getting out of the pain zone, and only waking up at one time a night now to just gobble more painkillers. But hopefully it's coming back, and the goal is 150 on the bench press before Christmas. If I keep just working at my 90% maxes, I'm totally going to get it. I have such a positive mental attitude for it just now. Right, another 30. Just keep it at 20. Glad it's improving. Paracetamol is underrated. Try lying on your back with shins on a horizontal surface. Lying on your back with shins on a horizontal, as in like total, oh yeah, stretching out the, as in, do you mean like this? No, that's can't be right. This is the horizontal. Yeah, this is the horizontal. As in like, as in that. Wow, I'm not really capable of doing that. Hold on. Tight quads, tight quads. Christ. I think I'll do that when I'm on a carpet. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. But yeah, I went to go see a sports physio. And they said I've got incredibly tight hip flexors. My calf is obviously burning all the time with the back pain. But Chris, did I have sciatica from a car crash or was it from the squat? Bit of both actually. I had a so years ago I had a shunt from a car behind, and I was like, ooh, that slightly irritated the nerve in my back. Or like, oh, I've got a slight twinge from my back. Didn't think too much of it, didn't cause me much of an issue. Went to the gym, did some squats, felt fine. Next day, went to the gym, did some squats, still had a little bit of sore back. Third day, went to the gym, did some squats, and then in one squat, I just felt this feeling going, that was the sound. It wasn't a crack, wasn't a snap, it was a, I was like, I literally just like crawled at the gym that day. And I was like, oh, that's pretty bad. And tried to go to the gym the next day just to like, I thought, oh, it's just maybe a strain or something, I'll just be able to work it out. And went back the next day, did some cross trainer, and it just didn't get better again for a long time. It just got worse and worse and worse until to the point where my wife was giving birth. And we're in the hospital, and the midwife goes to my wife and says, oh, is your husband really religious? And she's like, no, why? It's like, because he's on his knees praying. And I'm like, no, my back's just so sore, I can't move. And I had to like start taking my wife's gas and air for my back pain, even though she was giving birth and just like breathing like it was like, you know, she wasn't anything whatsoever. So it was a mixture of having a little bit of a shunt in a car crash, which may have slightly irritated the nerve, and then a squats afterwards with a slightly irritated nerve that just fucked it effectively. But this one, what's giving me jip now, has been from absolutely nothing. That's the annoying thing. That's the most irritating thing. Is like I even went to the physio. I'm like, I didn't fall. I didn't do a heavy squat and hurt myself. I didn't sit badly in a car. Nothing's changed in my life. Why has my back just progressively got worse and worse and worse over weeks and weeks and weeks, to the point where one day I couldn't even stand because it was just like pins and needles, not even pins and needles, like acid burn in my calf and my foot. I was like, I couldn't even stand. And they're like, yeah, that's just something that happens now. It can just happen at any point. So I'm like, fuck, I'm just in the danger zone for the rest of my life, and I just got to be prepared for this. Yeah, bonus gas and air. Yeah, what I found really funny was when I had the gas and air, because I've obviously never had gas and air before in my life, it's the opposite of helium. It makes your voice go really deep. But I didn't know if it was actually making my voice really deep, or it was just making me so stoned and spaced out on it that I thought my voice was going really deep. So I had to take a video of myself sucking on the gas and air and then speaking to see, was I just mentally just going in slow motion, or was my voice actually going in the opposite of helium? It was hilarious. I had to watch it afterwards after the gas and air had worn off. I was like, oh, it does make your voice go really deep. That's really weird. Yeah, gas and air is pretty awesome. Right, next one. Johnny, or Yusuf, I see Boris has started closing all the gyms again, or closing anything for the next month. Guess that means you guys aren't going to be going to the gym. But Yusuf, what city are you in now? For some reason, I get the impression you're kind of like Oxford, Cambridge area. York somewhere. Where is it that you guys are hanging around? What city, what town are you in at the moment? And do you have a house? Are you able to set up a gym in your place? Do you have a gym in your hospital? Oh, Yusuf, I'd love a video of your hospital gym. Or does your hospital have like a physio training place where you can go in and say, yeah, I'm just doing some physio for something. And we could get a Youssef. It was in Newcastle. All right. Was it not still? Yes, okay, you're in Newcastle. Was it not kind of Cambridge that you went to do the medical degree, or did I just imagine that? Is that where I got it wrong? Oh man, I am on a roll. Pacha. Right, and now bench. See what happens after I do a bunch of bench. Right, go to the max. Four, 5, 6, ow, 26. Right, back. Let's see. How does the juggling go now? Okay. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Did require a lot of effort. Oh yeah. Also, right, this stuff, what I'm thinking is this. There's two medical things that I'm thinking of here. There's the gate theory of pain. So in other words, if you get a pain down here, if somebody sticks their fingers in your side, you feel that pain before you get that pain. I'm thinking when you're doing dumb exercises like lifting up a bench press, moving to a high cognitive exercise like juggling, there's the gate theory of something. Don't know where I'm going with that one. Also, in sports psychology, there is the training periodization protocol, where in other words, having somebody, I think it's mostly been done in football, having somebody train goal shots for a whole day, and then the next day doing keepy uppies for the whole day, and then the next day doing something else for the whole day, isn't as good as having somebody on one day doing 3 different exercises, the next day 3 different exercises again, so varying the exercises one after the other. I wonder if that's the same with the bench press, by doing something and then mixing it up quickly with something completely different, you are somehow increasing your skill of both. Anyway, let's see. We want to hear a little story. Your dad co-authored the original Gate 3 paper. Shut up. Like, for real. If that's for real, that's nuts. That's very cool. I'm going to tell people that I know that's a thing. A guy I know, his dad wrote a book that I know about. That co-authored a book that I know about. If that's legit, that's awesome. Okay, do you want to hear an interesting story about my mum and dad? At the I'll get in so much trouble if they know I've told everyone this one. I went to go see my dad. It was his 80th birthday the other day. Went up to see my parents up in Dundee. I said, happy birthday, Dad. He has a PhD in pain. Nice. I've got a friend called Johnny Payne. His second name is Payne. I so wish he became a doctor. It's Payne, but it'd be so awesome if he was a doctor. Anyway, so here's the story. Went up to see my parents. It's my dad's 80th birthday. My dad is old now, and my mum is super old. She's got arthritis. She's had cancer. She's osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. every kind of ailment she's had. She's a heavy smoker her whole life, heavy drinker her whole life. Not somebody that massively involves herself in health. Anyway, so she's in a Zimmer kind of thing, walking about. She was on good form. She showed the kids around the house, played with the kids, and showed them the cat, stuff like that. And Dad gets a phone call from a tree surgeon who's asking about cutting down a tree in my dad's garden. Dad goes outside and he's on the phone talking about how high he wants this tree to be cut down. And turn around to Kim, and Kim, my wife, says to me, he's like, Dom, did I just see your dad running down the hill outside? And I was like, don't be silly, my dad's 80 years old. He can't be running down a hill. Go outside, see that he's literally run down a hill because he's lost his footing while looking at this tree on the phone, glass in one hand, phone in the other, holding onto a tree on a steep hill with all the tree branches on the ground, slips, falls down the hill, stumbles, crashes into a flower pot, smashes the flower pot on the ground in lots of pain, feeling like a bit of a tit. We bring him in the house, and he's like, oh, my shoulder, really clearly embarrassed. So I'm telling everyone this. And he tries to shrug it off. Maybe 80-year-olds can deal with pain in a way that the rest of us would be screaming and crying and calling for a hospital straight away. And we're like, should we call a hospital? Should we call a doctor? Should we get you an ambulance? He's like, no, it'll be fine. I'll just give me a coffee. So that's fine. Later that night, so me and my wife, we head home. We think, right, maybe we'll call the doctor. They'll tell us something later on. Later that night, get a call from my sister saying, have you heard the news? And I'm like, oh, what's that? Has Dad spoken to the doctor? Has he got a scan? Has he got an x-ray? What's going on with his shoulder? He's like, oh no, it's Mum. And I'm like, no, it was definitely Dad. No, Mum's on the floor and can't get up. And I'm like, what's happened here? And they're waiting for an ambulance to pick Mum up from the floor. And I'm like, what's happened here? Seemingly, after we had left, Dad fell asleep in a chair. Mum went downstairs, watched some TV, came back up. She said, right, time to go to bed. Tells my dad to get up. As they're walking through the kitchen, Dad's blood pressure or blood sugar plummets and he blacks out. And he falls on top of my mum. My mum being almost in a Zimmer, with incredibly thin bones, is lying on the ground. Dad wakes up after losing consciousness. Mum on the ground groaning. Dad on the ground with his shoulder going, ugh. He can't get up. He has to like shuffle himself, drag himself to a chair, pull himself up. And he looks at my mum. He's like trying to like, what's going on? She's like, oh, my leg. So they're like, what do we do? I'm like, call a bloody ambulance. So an ambulance comes along, takes my mum away, takes my dad away. Mum gets her legs x-rayed, that she's broken her thigh. She's had a hip replacement in the past, and her leg broke below the hip metal bit, so down here. So she has to be in hospital for 8 weeks. Dad gets his shoulder scanned. He's broken his arm, femur, ulna, radius. What's this one called? That one. Tibia, fibia, thigh bone, radius, ulna, your arm bone. Anyway, he's broken his arm. Shoulder, arm, all completely fucked. And so they're completely fucked. And because of lockdown, Dad is only allowed to see Mum. He's the only person allowed to see Mum in the hospital. And he's only allowed to see her 1 hour a day. So that's very upsetting for them both. Mum's in hospital, proper broken leg. Here's where it gets even better. A couple of weeks later, humorous. She doesn't seem to be suffering from it whatsoever, so she's absolutely fine. But she's generally pretty miserable about this. A doctor, a couple of weeks later, comes in and says, right, we're going to have a scan of your leg and tell her, look, we're going to have to make sure that you're doing physio before we can let you out of the place. We want to know that you can at least lift yourself up and move and all that kind of stuff. And my mum's generally just a bit miserable about this and is giving off to the doctor. The doctor then gives her the advice saying, look, Scarlett, if you don't buck up your attitude, if your thigh doesn't get back together, those bones could be permanently broken. You move one time, that thigh muscle could just be fracturing with inside your leg and you could end up having it worse and we might have to amputate your leg. Just like, oh. So it's gone from, hello Dad, happy 80th birthday, to both my parents in hospital, my mum catching coronavirus, my dad having a broken shoulder, my mum potentially needing her leg amputated. You're just like, oh my God. It's like, old people. Wow, you really, that was a quick downhill there. So yeah, that's the story of my parents over the last wee while. And that's where the story ends. So my mum finally got her second negative result for her coronavirus, so she's out of her isolation ward. Dad's now allowed to see her again. Dad might need to get surgery on his arm. We're still waiting for information on that. Mum is mum's under the impression, I just need one course of physio and then I'll be allowed out. And I was like, Mum, they're not going to let you out with just one course of physio, because like, how are you going to get out? She said, well, they'll put me in a wheelchair and I'll drive home. And I'm like, how are you going to get out of the wheelchair into Dad's car? And then when you get out of the car, how are you going to get out of the car into a wheelchair without falling out the chair into the wheelchair and possibly breaking yourself? And because like Dad's only got one arm, how's he going to help lift you up and everything? So she's just completely deluded by it. But obviously just clearly desperate to get out of hospital, because she's just miserable about it. But anyway, that's enough chat from me. So hope you've all enjoyed your story, and I shall end it there. So yeah, thanks for being with me for the last wee while of a workout. I have 50 kilograms, aiming by Christmas to get to 150 kilograms. I may need to buy new weights, however, can't get weights anywhere throughout the country. We have to borrow some off some neighbours. I'm going to keep working on my juggling. So, nice speaking to you all. Hope you all have a nice week. And Johnny and Youssef, loving your work, and I'll see you guys later. Right, cheers guys. See you all later. Right, now off to turn GoPro off. Bye bye.